Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. Sorry for the delays. I went on a road trip. Um, and I met some of my family, so that's why I wasn't posting the video. But if you went on my Instagram, um, you know, you would catch up with the journey on that. But anyways, I'm back with the channel, and as you guys can tell, we are starting finally after I believe 2 years of waiting of announcing it once, not doing it, and now I'm finally doing it. This is going to be the Jaws marathon, starting obviously, with the first one and the most and the best, Jaws, released in 1975 on June 20th, 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg. Um, you know, this is a. I'm just gonna say it right now. I love this movie. Um, as you guys can tell, so like I got multiple copies of the movie. I got the shark. I This is from Funko Pop when they were releasing the Jaws Funko Pops. This is the regular shark, and then as you can see back there, um, oh, there is the Jaws poster. Which, if you guys were following me on Instagram when I did the whole Universal vlogs, I got that poster when we went on the city walk on Saturday. Um, but anyways, so yeah, so let's get started. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. This is the only one I've seen so far out of all the Jaws movies. So maybe if I really feel like it, like I'm gonna watch all of them. Um, I mean, I've already watched this like 3 times. But if you guys follow me on Instagram, which I will put in the description below, um, I will most likely be doing a live stream on Instagram, watching not all of them, all in one live stream because that would be too long. But like every day, starting tomorrow, I would start, with Jaws 2, and then go on to Jaws 3, and then Jaws the Revenge. Um, so yeah, but we're not going on to those yet. We're gonna start off with the original Jaws. So yeah, like I said, released on June 20th, 1975, directed by Steven Spielberg. Let me get my page of notes. Um, had a budget of $7 million and made. It was the first movie to make over $100 million at the box office, which is why people uh, call it the first real blockbuster. It made over $260 million in the domestic, and worldwide it made over 470 million. Um, so the summary: when a young girl is killed while skinny dipping near the New England tourist town of Amity Island, Police Chief Martin Brody, played by Roy Scheider, wants to close the beaches, but Larry, Mayor Larry Vaughn, played by Murray Hamilton, overrules him, fearing that the loss of tourist revenue will cripple the town. Um, Matt Hooper, played by Richard Dreyfuss, and Grizzly and Quint, played by Robert Shaw, offer to help Brody capture the beast, and the trio engage in an epic battle of man versus nature. Um, like I said, this is a classic film. I honestly think if I had to recommend like 5 films, if you wanted to get into the art um of film, Jaws I think is one of them, and especially if you um like watch the behind the scenes, you know, or read about it, you know that this was a massively troubled production. Um, you know, I'm not gonna go into all of it because it's very fairly well documented, but um, let's just say that um, you know, for one, the mechanical shark it barely worked. Um, and you know, a lot of just stuff happened, and the film almost never even got made, which would have been a shame. at least, but luckily, they got through. They made the movie, and it's become one of the all-time classic films ever. So let's talk about the cast. Roy Scheider is basically the main character. Um, he plays Martin Brody, the police chief of Amity Island. You really sympathize with him. Um, you know, he's the one that's like, hey, there's stuff going on. We need to close the beaches so that everyone can be safe. And Larry Vaughn is just, oh, whatever. No, like we don't need to close the beaches. Like there's no shark. We'll just state it as a boat attack. Like no, no, it's a shark attack. You can't you can't just like no. So yeah. Um, Richard Dreyfuss as Matt Hooper. Um, he's kind of like um, it's like if like Roy Scheider's like the main character. Matt Hooper's kind of like the sidekick along with Quint, but he doesn't like really show up until like halfway through the film. I mean, yeah, granted, Richard Dreyfuss also appears like about halfway through the film, but he has way more screen time than Quint. Um, Anyways, speaking of Quint, he's played by Robert Shaw, who he was honestly one of the problems with the production because he just kept on drinking and drinking, and he would basically show up to the set drunk, and basically, you know, most of the scenes that he filmed would be just not worth it. But there is one scene where he's talking about when he does the Indianapolis speech. He was actually kind of he was gone, but you know he pulled off one of the greatest speeches of film. Um, Lauren Gary as Ellen Brody. She doesn't really do anything in this film except for like really two things. One, try and calm her husband, which is Martin Brody, and two, trying to protect her kids or their kids, which is Michael and Sean. Murray Hamilton as Mayor Larry Vaughn. Um, I just like in the first film, like in this, he seems more just like a greedy mayor. Like, oh, we don't need to close the beaches. Um, but I think honestly in the second film, they gave him a little bit more character. And we'll talk about that when we get to Jaws 2. Um, but anyways, and then we got Chris Labello, I think that's how you say it, as Michael Brody. Um, yeah, honestly, like this is the '70s, so I shouldn't really give too much flack to the kids. But yeah, they were obviously not the best part of the film, and honestly, one of the probably the worst parts of the film. But really, that's not really saying much, because this film is fantastic. And then Jay Mello, um, plays Sean Brody, and yeah, he doesn't really get a lot of screen time, honestly. Um, so really quickly, let's go over my Jaws memorabilia kind of close up. So, obviously, we got the standard Blu-ray release that came out first in 2012. Oh, and I just I just threw like an NFL player on a stand up. There you go. That was first released in 2012 to celebrate the 100th anniversary of Universal Studios, and then later got released in 2014. Now I currently have the 2014 release, which is basically just the Blu-ray and then the digital copy. The 2012 released was basically just the Blu-ray and then the DVD. And I don't think it came with a digital code, but I may be mistaken. But yeah, there's the front, spine, and the back. So special features wise, it includes the shark is still working, the impact and legacy of Jaws, the making of Jaws, Jaws the restoration, deleted scenes and outtakes from the set, storyboards, production photos, marketing Jaws phenomena, and the original theatrical trailer. So that's actually a pretty good amount for this Blu-ray disc. But as you guys saw um, in the video that I made uh, a couple weeks back, they have released the 4K version, which is obviously to celebrate the 45th anniversary of the film, which I just missed by a smidge of 9 days. So, sorry I didn't get to it at that point, but at least I'm still making it now. So, yeah. Like I said, I already made a video about this release. But really quickly, just to go over it, this is the standard kind of edition that's being sold right now with the lenticular cover. Spine. Oh, is that upside? Oh, that's right. And there's basically the poster without the shark. And then the inside has, the 4K release, which has both the 4K and the Blu-ray, and obviously the book. So, and unfortunately, I did not get any of the soundtracks. Unfortunately, even though I have seen on Entrada Records, their website, they are supposed to be re-releasing the Jaws soundtrack at some point. I don't know when. But yeah, and like I said earlier, I have this little Funko Pop of the shark. This is the regular one. And then they did have one with the air tank inside, but I didn't get that one because I'm like, what's the point of getting that one if I could just get the regular one and just have a shark in general? So, and so you can kind of do like shots like, you know, and then obviously as you guys can see, I got the theatrical poster. I'm not gonna take it off right now. Okay, yeah, it's gonna fall. Um, yeah, it's the regular poster. Like I said, I got it at Universal Studios. I believe I might have shown it in the vlogs, but I'm not exactly sure about that. But I did show it on my Instagram story or on my Instagram post about it. Um, but yeah. And really quickly before I get to the fun fact about it and my rating for the film, I really want to quickly mention, as I said, the score, like the music by John Williams is fantastic. I'm getting to frame. Probably one of the best soundtracks of all time, along with like um, here let me pull them out. Like the like all the Superman films and the Star Trek films, they have fantastic soundtracks. Which, speaking of, it's kind of funny that Jaws and Superman, the first one, have the exact same composer, John Williams. And yeah. But yeah. So, okay. So the fun fact about it is, the scene where Hooper and Brody find Ben Gardner's boat was filmed after principal photography or principal production and had wrapped, and it was filmed in a swimming pool. So yes, so the great scene where Hooper and Brody are out, during the night trying to find the shark after they find in the tiger shark that they couldn't find. Well, actually, hold up. Before I get to that, um, you know, this is some of the most iconic scenes in film. Um, the opening scene where where the teenage girl, as I mentioned at the plot synopsis, gets killed. That's iconic. The little boy getting killed. And then this scene where, as like I said, Hooper and Brody have gone out because when they went to go and open up the tiger shark to find the Kintner boy's body, they did not find anything, just a whole bunch of garbage. So they knew that there was a bigger shark out there. So they went out during the night on Hooper's boat, which has like a whole bunch of like shark technology on it, and they find Ben Gardner's boat, which we saw earlier in the film when they were trying to find the shark during the day. And then the boat, like, it has like a couple cracked windows, but it looks fine. But then Hooper goes down, finds the holes with the shark tooth, and he goes into like another cracked hole, and he finds the body of Ben Gardner and drops the shark tooth, and gets out of the water, and they go. Um, that scene was actually filmed in the swimming pool. Of what was filmed in the swimming pool of one of Steven Spielberg's friends. After principal photography wrapped, and they were like, "We need another scare in the film," so they didn't put the full boats in there. So I think they just built the sets and they filmed it and put milk in the water so that it would kind of look misty, and probably again one of the best scenes in the film. Um so yeah, this is honestly the best, in my personal opinion, the best kind of horror film. Even though I wouldn't really count as horror, but like the best, nature film ever. Like, it's one of my favorite films of all time. So I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10 or an A plus. So anyway, guys, thank you for watching the first part of the Jaws marathon. Stay tuned for tomorrow, where I'm gonna be talking about Jaws 2, released in 1978. And if you guys actually, I might do it, but I don't know. I know I'm certainly going to be watching this tomorrow, along with the rest of the films day by day, and I'm going to be working on the script and then filming it. So, yeah. So anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Stay tuned for Jaws 2. Live long and prosper. Out.